Hello, my name is Jada Onwuda. I'm here today to take you through general muscles, looking at the structure, classification, and actions of the muscles all throughout our body. So stay tuned for a very interesting set of lectures. All right, before we do any of that, the first thing that we're going to do is look at some learning goals. The first thing that we're going to be covering is just looking at some features of muscle structure, right? So kind of like those small pieces that make up the larger things that we're used to seeing on like bodybuilders or, even if you work out, you see your muscles grow over time. What are the little pieces that make up that larger structure? Next up, we'll be looking at some of the functional classifications of muscle, as well as the actions of muscles, and also looking at the muscles themselves and being able to identify them. And so before we even get started, I do have kind of a word of advice from just doing this for a couple of semesters with my students. Y'all should have just finished up bones. You should have had your practical by now. And I know bones is hard, and I always tell my students, bones might be hard, but muscles, in all honesty, is harder. And that's just because of the breadth of information. As you see, you're gonna have to know not only like muscle identification for a bunch of different muscles all throughout the body, but also some terms that we'll cover next week. So my advice is to watch this video at least a couple of times, sit with it, make sure that when you come into lab that you're seeing these muscles over and over and over again. APR and just repetition are going to be key for this upcoming unit. So make sure that you're seeing these, I would say at least 3 to 4 times, like separately throughout the course of the week, if not more. So that is my advice to you as we continue. Just moving on. These next couple of weeks, we're going to introduce the cadaver / body donor here in lab. And so I'm going to go over some of the things to expect as you go in. And I'm sure your TA will have more to add on here as well. So the first thing that we're going to cover is some terminology surrounding the body donor. This is someone who has agreed while they were still alive and in their right mind, that they wanted to, when they were deceased, have their body come to an institution and have students learn from their body. And so it's an honor and just a wonderful opportunity to be able to have these kind of resources here at ASU. And so here are some terms, what we can refer to, especially when the body donor is out and we're doing our lab learning around it. The first is willed body donor. This is the full, proper, respectful term for someone, like I said, who has chosen to donate their body. Body and donor are acceptable, and your TA is sure to have their kind of like preferred language, but you can also choose your own respectful term as well. And I'm sure, from just out and about in the world, you've heard cadaver, which is still acceptable and widely used, but we're trying to like move away from that and have a more respectable term. So in all 4 of these terms, willed body donor, cadaver are all acceptable. It's kind of like you pick your own flavor as long as you're staying as respectful as possible, especially when the body donor is out during lab. All right. And so for 201, we use a male donor to demonstrate mostly muscles. So, let me hide myself so you guys can see. Okay, see. Yeah, we use a male donor to demonstrate the muscles here, and a female donor is used to demonstrate all of the endocrine organs, like cardiovascular, all of those kind of interworking systems in the body. So, this is a plug, Take 202, if you haven't already signed up for it. And yeah, we're going to learn a lot from our male donor. All right, so a little bit about how we receive the donors. Oh, maybe I'm gonna hide myself again. All right, so we get our donors through the U of A Will Body program. They work with the U of A's med school, right, at Tucson and on the Phoenix campus, as well as AT Still, which is out in Mesa. It's another med school out of Mesa, and ASU and NAU. So it's a super huge program. This kind of consortium of schools come together. All of the people who our donors for who are donors for us fill out enrollment forms, and this is not the same form as an organ donor. This is kind of a really intentional choice to, you know, donate your body to students, to for them to learn and, experience anatomy. And so everything, all the transportation is very kind of respectful and very kind of low key, right? Once the will body donor passes, they're going to be transported by funeral home in an unmarked van. All of the official documents are checked and rechecked, and at the U of A's campus, they have a memorial service for new donors where all the friends and family can share the lives of their donors. And there's a slideshow, all of like the wonderful stuff for commemoration of this wonderful kind of you know gift that we are able to have here at ASU. And so let me see. Okay, sweet. And so when we have the donors uh, out, especially, please, please, please make sure that you are being as respectful as possible. Kind of the lay of the land around donor lab days is that we're going to gather around in small groups. Your TA will bring you up when they're ready to explain what we're going over. And so from there, you're able to ask questions. You can ask to see something again from a different angle. And with gloves, please, with gloves, you can touch the donor body. Please make sure that these weeks, I believe it's 3, you have to be coming in with proper PPE. I know sometimes, you might walk in, you have some Crocs on, or maybe some like short pants or something. Just please, please, please make sure, even if you have to bring clothing, that you are wearing full PPE, because these are the labs where we're really hammering down on that. And so here, let me see if I can, no, I'm still, okay. And so from there, just make sure to note, like, unacceptable behavior is going to include any rude remarks about the donor, comments of disgust. Once again, touching the body without gloves. We're not going to do that, okay? Please do not do that. And also leaning against the table without PPE. If it's the same table that I used when I was here doing being a TA, those corners are really, really sharp. So don't lean against that table, or you will come out with a cut or a bruise or something. And we try to, shield you all with like pool noodles and all sorts of nice buffers, but don't sit next to something sharp. All right. And big note, if you feel faint or you need to sit down, this is not at all a sign of weakness or anything. That is totally okay. And please just do what you need to do without even asking. Like, if you need to sit down, just step back, go back to your table. If you need to lean against the wall, feel free, you can do that. We understand that this is sometimes the first time a lot of our students are seeing a body for the first time. And so we want to make sure that you're having the best experience possible. And that starts with your safety as a human being and as our students. So just make sure, if you need water, if you're faint, please make sure to take care of yourself first. Go sit down, and I promise you will have a chance to see it when you need to. And so once again, this is kind of a review of what I was just going over, right? Fainting at the donor table is rare, but it does happen, and it's not a sign of weakness at all. There are plenty of healthcare professionals, both from nurses, doctors, whatever, that have fainted, at the first sight of blood or even at a donor. So it is not you, you just take that time for yourself. Step away, come back, do what you got to do. Let me see if I can unhide myself. All right, sweet. Hello, I'm back. And so here, before you get to lab, especially if you're a 7:30 a.m. lab, I will say, please make sure that you've at least eaten something or drank like water before you come. This is a good note. You're more likely to faint than you are to vomit. So just make sure that you're like you know, taking care of yourself once again. If you do faint, we all TAs are trained in a special protocol to like call EMS, make sure that you're okay. So you will be in good hands. But, safety starts with you and us. Anyway, we'll make sure you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Um, Sweet. And then return of the donors. Um, Kind of at the end, we usually use the bodies for about 1 to 2 years, and we receive new ones over the course of the summer. Some students volunteer to help assist in dissecting them, dissecting the new body donor and getting them ready. And if you're interested, especially after this like cadaver unit in the weeks that we're seeing the cadaver, downtown bio 101 and 202 has a super interesting program where you basically start off with a body, and then um, you can dissect it throughout the course of the semester. So it's super cool. Oh my gosh, please take that if you have the chance. All of the organs and tissues are kept with the body, and, very last rites for the person, depending on like whether, they want it to be cremated or returned to their family, whatever their last wishes are honored. And so with this, just if you have any questions about like how you'll feel during seeing the cadaver or body, or anything about just any kind of concerns, please reach out to your TA. These are the units where we are really listening out for any student concerns. So just make sure to reach out as soon as possible. I do know that when a new body comes, the entire building of LS, I think this is LSE, is completely, oh, look at that, and the lights turned off. I'll be right back. Sorry. What was I saying? Yes, so the entire building is smoked, and the body is blessed. And I'm sure, like, if you have any questions about any of those processes, we are happy to talk about them and happy to refer you to the right resources. So, we are here for you. This is your tuition at work, and we want you to have the most comfortable and educational experience as possible. So please just make sure to reach out to us.